It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between AFC East rivals. It's the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, a fun matchup in the AFC East, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gautin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Zerline set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. Hamler now to return it. Dashing through the snow. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There is no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Xavier Gipson now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Now left side on the swing pass. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a second down and 4. Rodgers going to throw. There's Hall bringing in another one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then called it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Paul on a give up the middle. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll go again with Hall. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now it's Rodgers. Caught. It's Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Here's a give to Hall. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Touchdown, Jets! Tyler Conklin from 4 yards out. And the Jets drive it right down the field to score on their opening drive. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. These two teams all tied after one. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Allen on third. And that will be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
They'll give to Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Here's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Eluding the pressure right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
And nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job seeing he got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
.2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This is 2nd and 8.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Still going. The way in, touchdown, New York. Devontae Adams, 59 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see them, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Now their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And again, it's Rodgers. That is caught. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And that play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigskin at the 7-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
After the made field goal. Zerline back out there now to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Pass delivered successfully to Knox on the out route. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Connection made on the out route to Valdez-Scantling. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Allen again. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Bass is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, we saw some great play from Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
On second down, a run with Hall.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on third down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it, second and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should listen to you, partner.
And he is going to have the Jets first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He was waving his arms toward the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 34-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Anthony Frisker, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Now it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because You have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Powering his way forward. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
Now a 2nd and 2. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play. But he could not pull it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is. But that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers. Literally and figuratively.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Allen. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Allen. And returns it right back to Samuel. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Jets' 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Jermaine Johnson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Allen going to throw. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 36 yards. And the Bills have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
17.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot it. It's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if the defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Rodgers.
Off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Now Rodgers. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. To the air, Allen. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Amari Cooper, 40 yards.
And the Bills are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Bass on for the extra point.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. But this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Slant to Adams.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. This is Wilson on the jet sweep.
And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, here's Rodgers.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That's another Jets. First down. First down 10 at the 13-yard line.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3 at the 6-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Back to the ground with Hall.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had it pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
Here now, 2nd and goal. There's a fake on the Jets sweep, and instead a give to Hall up the middle.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Breece Hall
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Jets answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But who can wear down who? And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Allen and the Bills now, down by 7. A minute 54 on the clock. A touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. That's complete. It's Cook.
Defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now Allen. Into the hands of Cooper. Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 61 yards. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The New York set to take the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense.
Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible, but the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
Allen, left side, Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Allen. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Throwing, Allen. Rolling to his right. And he's going to be out of bounds to stop the clock. And they continue to move a little bit closer toward that potential game-winning field goal. Second down, goal to go. To throw is Allen. Cook.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's third and goal. Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
And I don't think there should be much of a discussion here, but you know how I am. You kick the football, you take the lead. How bold do you want to be in this situation, though?
Bit of a pressure spot here for Tyler Bass.
This to take the lead here in the final minute.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Nothing easy about that one, and these elements in the snow, but he's able to put it home in what looks to be the game winner.
And you know, I had problems with the footing just walking from the bus to the stadium. I can't imagine being called to kicking this stuff with the game on the line. But he appeared to have zero issues whatsoever.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Rodgers to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
To throw is Rodgers.
And that's caught by Williams.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understand where they are in the field?
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
What a thrilling 4th quarter this one was. Well, at least I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a one touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up